Peter, thanks very much for joining us. It would be interesting to get, I guess, your perspective there from Primevest in terms of the sectors where you're active at the moment.
Primevest Capital Partners is active in the parking mobility sector, in the communication infrastructure sector, and then specifically the fibre to the home sector, and in the residential sector. That's where we are. We always say we are a core investment manager, very much focusing on cash flow streams or cash streams, and we are rather defensive. So that means in a market which is upward and rising, there tends to be better returns probably somewhere else. And in the market we are facing today, and in my belief are facing going forward, we are defensive, so the cash flow should be protected in this market. And of course the proof is in eating the pudding. So we will see about that, but we think we are very well positioned to deal with a difficult market as it is today, for the simple fact that we have long-term leases, quite often also double net or triple net leases, and with operators who are very credible and easy to survive. So we should be able to deliver the returns we promise to investors also during these times. So that's good that we feel we are well positioned.
And in terms of areas like mobility, parking, what's driving that here in the Netherlands?
The movement of cars, quite obviously, but a big point today is the fact that more and more municipalities are trying to ban the car out of their city centers, or not completely ban, but at least they want to make sure that there are less cars going forward in the city centers. So you will see a shift towards parking garages around cities. And that's also, you have to rethink also the use of these parking garages, because people will be there for a longer time. So apart from making sure that these cars are charged as far as they are electric concerned, you can also think about delivering goods and products there, and it should be more of a transport hub going forward. So you park your car and you go further either by foot or by bicycle, or by electrical bicycle, by electrical scooter. So it is an extremely interesting market to be in, but one thing we see is that people still use their car a lot, and it's not the number of cars is still rising also in Holland.
And does this mean that, I mean, obviously the area around that is that electrification therefore has to be put in, charging points have to
Absolutely.
be put into all of these parking garages?
Yes, yeah, exactly, and that's the part where we have, of course, that's the biggest trend of today. That in the old days they were fossil fueled and you had your car sport. Now you more and more see electrification, hence charging spots, and that will increase year by year for sure. Yeah.
And in terms of your kind of general take on the outlook for the markets in the Netherlands at the moment, what are you seeing, and I guess where's it headed?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's an interesting time. It's a demanding time in that sense. On the one hand, we have occupancy levels which are very good. We have the lowest unemployment levels we have seen for a long time. But on the other hand, we have interest rates rising, inflation, because of the fact that inflation has been rising so much, and that's suffering us. Our kind of products, because we deal with future cash flows, and future cash flows will be no matter how you put it, they will be eroded by the fact that there is a huge inflation. So you're looking for these kind of inflation hedges, but if inflation is 10%, you cannot. You can rise your interest, or sorry, your rental levels with 10% sometimes because of the CPI projection, but then your tenant won't survive. So that's the trade-off you're looking for. It is a difficult market we are seeing, and the question is, what will the market be doing going forward? Because we still see, are we at the end of the high inflation? So is our interest rate still going to be rising? So that's the matter of fact where we're looking at today. But I think for real assets in general, it's a difficult market, because we see repricing for the simple fact that these cash flows has to be valued differently than they were valued before, and that's still taking on, and that's why you see a kind of a lackluster market today, because there's a mismatch between demand and supply, or there's a mismatch between price of what the seller expects to get and what the buyer is willing to pay today.
And of course, broadly the same across Europe, Peter, as well.
It is, yes. We see it roughly everywhere, and they're dependent on what sector you are. There are different sets of influence involved as well. I think about residential. There's a lot of political turmoil on that, especially on the affordable side of housing. So there are a lot of influence which we have to deal with today. Yeah.
Great. Thanks very much for joining us, Peter.
Thank you.